Hey, that sound like Party for a Slam. Hello, good people. My name is Dr. Kelly Hamilton, and I am sitting in for the inimitable Unique Rush. She has some business to handle, so she is open up the space. I'm going to do my best to be her best. So welcome to an online Harambee Poetry Slam. We are rocking a 3-queen set. Last month, we just happenstance had 3 brothers come through to bring their best to this here online slam. And the universe liked that so much, they brought 3 sisters coming through. So it's going to be 3 queens tonight. So we are going to have 3 poets do 2 rounds with 1 cash prize. 50 bones in these age of Rona. We're trying to make sure that we are taking care of our talent. So right now, where you are, so I want you to practice because you still get to make noise. Even though you're not with us, we can feel you. These poets know that you are there with them. So we have to make sure that we get the set and the space right. Before we do that, I want to give it up to our DJ. Give for Mr. Kima in the building. Not the
hey.
I'm gonna go into this. Yeah, this is gorilla.
So while we're getting the room set and the space set, I'm watching the poets back here in our digital green room getting themselves together. Would like to make sure we have our judges in place. So judges, if you can do us a favor, please just give us a shout out. Say I'm here. Put your hand up on the thread out there. You know who you are. Hey, y'all, we got 1 judge in. See you, Miss Denise. Thank you. Judges, want to make sure we have you in place because there's so many things you need for a slam, different from an open mic. And I'm looking through, there are some folks who just kind of landed here, and maybe you don't know what a poetry slam is about. You've heard about it, and now the myth is true. So a poetry slam is a poetry competition. I know. It seems like an oxymoron, but it's going to change your whole life if you've not seen this before. So these are poets who are already intent on their craft, and they take some of their favorite pieces and make sure that they layer all the performance techniques to it. And they deliver that piece to a set of judges who are not experts. They're not college professors. They are not lecturers of poetry. These are just human beings who know what they like. All right, Ms. Danita, we see you. These are human beings who know what they like, know it doesn't make sense, and we're putting scores to art. I know it's ridiculous, scores to art. But when you start talking about scores and winning, all of a sudden artists get awfully athletic, right? So a poetry slam is a competition where the best are bettering their own best. And the judges are going to give each of these poems, not poets, poems a score between 0 to 10. 0 being that poem that probably should have stayed as a journal entry, and 10 being that poem that just rearranges your entire molecular structure. And we're going to ask them to hit us with some decimal points in the middle so we can minimize the chances of a tie. So our judges are lined up. They're ready to go. I want to make sure that they are in place. So we have one of our judges and one of our poets is putting out a fire, not literally, but it can feel that way sometimes. But we definitely have 2 of our voices ready to rock and roll. So, Kima, do you have something you want to share with the people while we're waiting for our judges to get in line?
I do. I almost feel like I have to turn the party lights off for this one.
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do, man. This particular piece, like isn't new at all. Actually, it isn't new at all. And then every few months, it just becomes relevant all over again, in some way that are just disheartening and disappointing. But it's been in my spirit. I was talking to my younger brother earlier today about Oscar Grant. And the parallel is Oscar Grant had a couple of, grown-ass humans on top of him as well, which meant, the physical threat had been neutralized. Freeze! Though I am frozen, he has still chosen death for my life. How could I have known that I would blow my last breath on this night, here in the presence of Christ, Allah, Buddha, and Jah? I would be killed. It may not be enough that they saw. Nightsticks around my neck, steel toes on my jaw, another bound hand, brown man, victim of law. But who cares? You probably figure I deserved it. Said I got a few priors, so that makes me worthless. I descend from an ape, so I carry curses. And he will shoot me like the beast he perceives. No use in no please. This is perilous. I can hear it in his voice. He's no longer at the crossroad. He's already made the choice, and that's to shoot, cuz. Shoot, cuz. All you got to say, you put that bullet in him because he reached for his waist. Reached for his waist? Yes, he reached for his waist. Go tell the jury that. You've got a much better case. Don't worry about him. He's in a much better place, and we're the only eyewitness, so there won't be a trace. Now run along to your kids, kiss your wife in the face, and thank all your lucky stars that we live in such a place. Not so fast, said the iPhone cam. Human eyes can't do what the iPhone can. We got the whole thing on the widescreen pan. You don't have to look close. Right there are his hands. Turn up the volume. You'll hear the screaming man. Stop. No. Wait. Please. The 4 words that he'd repeat while kneeling in feces and pee. Oh, those with souls can clearly see that he'd relinquished to police his manhood, his dignity, his pride, just moments before he died. His mom, she bitched, she moaned, she cried to no avail because Holmes had lied. See, the police report the jury read said some bullshit. With no weapon, how could he have pulled it? Very simple arithmetic to explain that sick inside my pit. I skid each time that I see lights on dim lit streets real late at night. Oh, sure, you empathize my plight. I hear you speak of equal rights, but will you have to tell your kids that some justice just is? Pound hand brown man. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for that. And I am also sorry that the poem continues to be relevant. Painfully so. All right, we have judge number 2 in the space, in the building, in our digital building. Welcome to the space, Miss Angela.
Oh, yeah, I see. Angela in the building. Virtually. I see you, Angela. Let's see what we have. Waiting for, I won't call out names. We're waiting on a couple more judges. Check my messages.
You gonna take us there, DJ?
I was actually taking my messages at the end. Just make sure I wasn't missing a message.
All right. Oh no! Almost spilled my cocktail. That would have been awful.
No.
That's like, has to be bad luck. That would. I think it is. I don't know that it's written in the rules, and I don't have any proof. But just like Bill Maher said, I don't have proof, but it feels like it's true that if the host spills this drink right before the slam, it's gonna go bad for everybody. So, congratulations, slammers! You're still gonna be ultra amazing because the drink is safe.
Let's see who we got.
Because I'm black.
We have Lulu, Manswell, Mr. Peterson. If you're around, if you will let us know in the comment section.
Drink matters. See, people get me.
And that isn't just anyone too. Shouts out to Samantha. Just all over the world. All over the world.
Bestest life. And it's your bestest when there are folks who are trying to make you think that best wasn't possible for you. Woo! So you're just not your best life. It's your bestest because folks, they will forget Don't let anybody underestimate you. Or better yet, let them go ahead and underestimate you. So their issue. So their problem. So not even a come up, because that's where you were going to be in the first place. Here for all of this. I am too, Miss Sam. I am too. So I know that we are waiting for a few more judges that were lined up. We want to make sure they are in position. Say it again.
If we can get one more judge, we could go with 3.
Okay, that'll work. Do we have one judge? Let him choke, baby. Let him choke.
I say let him choke.
Choke. Gotta let him choke. So if you have not been a Poetry Slam judge before, it's super simple. All you have to do is have an opinion. Guess what? Everybody has one. 2, be consistent. 3, say that you're interested. That is all that's required. That is all that's required. So if you are willing to be a judge, just say, you know what? Throw me in. I'll judge. Just make that in the comment section where you are. And then we will bring you back into the green room. Well, actually, no, you can just judge from where you are. You can judge from where you are. You know the way life goes. You don't have to be a poetry expert. In fact, the strongest judges are not poetry experts. The strongest judges just going off of like, I don't know, that didn't make any sense. Guess what? Look at you being a poetry expert. Or I think that had to do with my mother, and I love that. Look at you being a poetry expert. So if you're willing to give a shot at it, we just need you to say, I'll be willing to judge. And here's the best news. You are not going to ruin anything. You won't ruin anything. Slam math is special math. Kind of like that new math our kids are learning. And I know for me to talk about new or old math is hilarious because even the old math was painful to me. But that's another talk for another day. How you want to roll, sir?
Check. Let's see what we got. I was checking backstage for 20 pieces and some biscuits.
There's all the parents out there know how this gets. They don't even want to talk to you. They don't need nothing. They don't break anything until you're on the phone. So similarly, 20 piece in a biscuit? One of her
some biscuits, plural biscuits. You can't give 20 pieces in one biscuit.
All right. Well, 20 pieces having an issue with one of her little nuggets and should be swinging through in about 10 minutes. So if we need to roll, we can roll. But I'm sure give 10 or 11 care.
Okay. Well, we have a judge. So we have Leah, Angela, and Danita for the judges.
Word.
Leah. Thank you, Leah. And then Ajamu, Brother Heal the Hood, who's standing by as an alternate poet if we want to just go with 20 pieces and the biscuits for the next slam if she has to manage life right now.
All right. That'll work out well. I'm gonna send that note. And thank you out there for being patient. Heal the Hood on deck. You know what? That's your next t-shirt run, sir. Heal the Hood on deck. What do you do? Heal the Hood whenever. Can you be here? Right here. I'm on deck. That means I can be next if you need me to. But I'm right here. That's what you want. That's where you want healing, on deck. All right. So
from that give them their flowers while they can smell them, And I'm gonna say my man made a post today that in case you didn't see the post, I want to repeat it. So hopefully just this context goes viral. But like Brother Heal the Hood had a moment, man, where he was in a moment that had the potential to be combative with another brother, right, who wasn't necessarily centered at the time, and just from what I read out of the message, man, like all of the language that was used, all of the way that he was being communicated to would have given him, all the justification in the world to make it physical, and just him centering himself, him staying centered, and him bringing that conversation and that potential confrontation to him, was gave the other brother an opportunity to think about his best self, So it's hard to argue by yourself, and at the end of the day, when you receive grace That is a lot to reflect on. So he, came back the next day and made amends. You know what I'm saying? And just think about just the times where the energy gets there and we just keep ramping it up until the cops come or until somebody's in a bag. So just having that peace, man. And that's courage. That's power. Like the power to know you can slap the shit out of somebody and don't. That's power. That's power. That's courage. And just wanted to celebrate that, man.
It's a lot of work too to get to that point.
Yeah.
Making a lot of alternate and essential decisions.
Yeah.
All right. So you're in.
Does he have the link? Word. Angela, Anita, you guys still with us? Yeah. So I see Deolinda Abstract. She's backstage. She's rubbing her hands together right now. Mr. Leah's backstage. So Leah just went and grabbed another glass of wine, which means she's priming right now. Okay, she's flipping her hair. Whipping her hair. I whip my hair back and forth. Word.
All right. So, brother, I'm going to send you a link so you have it just in case, being on deck and all. All right.
So Danita, Angela, and Leah are the judges for this evening.
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
All right. If you're at home, let's celebrate the essential businesses of the liquor store. That's LIKKASTO liquor store. Yeah, the doctors and the grocery people. Yeah. But the liquor store. Cheers. Thank you for putting yourself in harm's way so we don't become harmful to the way. Yes, I know those of you who know me are like, what? That's not brown at all. I was reintroduced to gin. Those of you who know me know I'm a whiskey girl. And I was doubtful. And I had this look on my face. And the sister, we were hanging out. Remember back when we used to hang out? Anyway. And she says, I know what that is. That's the bumpy face. You had a bad incident with bumpy face back in college or something, right? And I'm like, oh, were you there? Was that on the internet? How did you know? And she's like, no, you got to try this brand or this brand or this brand. You want to do it, do a touch of this, a squeeze of that. And it's refreshing. She says, you don't want to drink whiskey in the middle of summer. I'm like, yes, I do. But it is refreshing. And kept my mind open. And now look at this. I have diversified my liquor portfolio. I know it's an odd thing to have a testimony about, but I figure let's just be all the way whole and human together, huh? So, gin and tonic, twist of lime, trying to be grown out here. Cheers, Leah. Cheers.
Do I need to give Brother Ajamu the
did.
link? Or does he have it? Okay, sweet.
And I think another order. Oh, yeah, past tense you were. Sorry.
I think we're ready. You ready?
Yeah.
So, Miss Lee, I think you got bumped up.
I guess we got to do official.
Oh, that's right.
I have well, I got one. I'll start. I did it last I'm gonna do the one I did oh wait. Who just came through? Yay!
Well, the brains is back.
And a biscuit in the building. Ajamu, brother, thank you. But the queens made it happen. I mean, are we really surprised that Black women came through? I'm just saying. But Brother Hilla Hood is on deck, and we love having your voice out here. We love being able to have you. Mama told me to stay ready. Every time, you never know. So, Brother Ajamu, thank you very much for being willing. We definitely know that you're still going to be engaged and make your comments, because as you may or may not know, the things that you comment on the thread there will make their way into this here slam. So feel free to snap out the poets, shout out the poets, repeat the lines you like, just as if you were in the venue with us. You are still in our digital venue, so make yourself part of this experience, because we're all in this here thing together. All right, so we've got our poets, we've got our judges. Are we gonna so was that your
so
20 sacrificial? Is that what happened?
I was, but I already
That's what I'm saying. You were the sacrificial, we can keep going.
Beg your pardon?
I'm saying if you were the sacrificial, we can get into it.
I said let's get into it, unless you want to do another sacrificial poem for the judges.
We got time, right? I don't know if it's I'm editing in my head because I know it's more than 3 minutes. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. I couldn't fight it. I hope you see my face and that you be reminded that for me, this isn't over. I've written enough love notes and broken-hearted poems to know that this was something different. And not because I pulled the loose-leaf sheaf beneath the fold of his daily news, and not because the handwriting was lilted and faint, and not because the language was weighted with words like forever and love and we, but because of the heartache trapped between the paper and the ink. It was heartbreak familiar scaling the edges of her upward cases, and I appraised the downward slope of her consonants to be the hieroglyphs of we women who tend to love like mountain molasses, thick, sweet, steady, without prompting, without apology, without stopping. It is our scars that meters the distances between left and lost, dropped and broken. I hear echoes of light laughter behind her fluid pen. And I imagine what they were like when my man loved her then. Back before he laced sure fingers inside of mine. Back when his thumb was tracing the landscape of her spine. Back when they built an entire lexicon on every inside joke and every whispered exchange. Back when they had a favorite diner and he forgave her from pulling the French fries off his plate. And I imagine her cheeks flushed warm from adoring him. Eyes shiny with a feverish affection, and I bet she believed it forever then. I bet she wrapped old wounds inside the plush stretches of him. And back when he loved her back, I bet he called her pet names, surprised her at work with lunch on some days, and I know he touched her gently, planted sweet fruits along her wrists and collarbones, but I also know the smell of a souring affection. Remember how I had to scour my own heart raw so I can rise from my own rubble and fall into his refreshed embrace. But I can't help but wonder if a beast still lurks behind his chest, if it will ever come for me, ever rage me away from my bones. And I suppose my skeletons dance with new loves, better loves, like this man of hers, repurposed into my bed. I've nestled his history beneath my skin, and together we dream in the precision of planets. But he loved her something different, something fractured, something stretched, insufficient between devotion and farewell, and she will always remember him this way. So I fold the letter back into its hiding place. Her loss, my gain. Her closure, my praise. I don't know where our beginning may lead. I just pray we can love an ending, something different. That's that. All right, judges, this right here is your practice round. Give all the honesty you have. So anyone else on the thread, we're going to ask you to not comment just yet. Judges, 1, 2, 3, put your scores in the thread.
All right.
I just had to let you know you're
While the judges are contemplating, remember, we want you to use decimal points anywhere from a 0 to a 10, a something point something, and throw it on the screen. And we're going to do some fancy slam math. And while they're doing that, just so you know, our first poet that's going to come to the screen in this slam is going to be 20 pieces and 2 biscuits, or 20 pieces and bunches of biscuits.
Some biscuits.
Some biscuits. We're going to do 20 pieces and some biscuits to the screen. Do we have all the scores from all of our judges? Ain't we though? We the illest. And that's when you say, because we the illest. Still Waters Collective. 1, 2, 3. We the illest.
Because we the stillest.
Nice job. I heard all of you. Even over Kima's voice, I heard all of you. All right, judges, we need some scores. Put them on the screen, please. Right in the
comment section.
Right in the comment section. So that's Leah, Anita, Denise, Angela,
Leah, and Danita. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I see Louise sitting here. That was one of the original judges.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, she's here now. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. 9 to 8. Or 9.8 from one of the judges. There we go.
One more. I think we got some bio management happening with Judge 3.
Okay, no problem. 9.9. And let's see, Lulu. We can get Louisa. We can get 9.9. That's good.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, judges. So what's going to happen now is we are going to add these scores up, and then we'll come back with all the math at the end. Oh, my goodness. Judging art. Ridiculous and fantastic. So thank you for those scores, judges. Poets in the back, we are ready. We got our cocktails right. Audience, are you ready? Just irritate your neighbors. Just let the folks know in the other room who are watching some binge thing on Netflix, you are in where it needs to be. So right now from your chair, audience, make some noise. Just believe that we can hear you. Just believe that we can hear you. Yes, I see you. I see you. No, get off the couch. No, mama don't like him down the couch. So thank you for being hyped. Thank you for being ready. We are ready to bring this first poet to the stage. And what I want you to do is, even though you are at a screen, we are bigger than these machines. Put all of your energy on all of your thunder to the screen. Give it up for 20 piece and some biscuits.
Hello, everybody. Wait a minute. Let me take a sip of my cognac.
Do that.
How's everybody doing? So glad to be a part of this.
Word.
So, I'm sorry, Dasha. Are there any? Well, I mean, what's the time limit? I had to step out for a second.
Don't worry about it. Okay. 2 poems. You're gonna do one now, and we'll come back reverse order.
Okay.
I mean, don't do the 20-minute poem. Don't do that one.
No, I ain't even.
Okay.
I can't. Okay. I didn't want to write a poem today. I secretly wanted to stalk my misuser in Walmart, hiding behind the Paw Patrol toys, leap out of nowhere and hit that bitch in the face with a bat. I was 4. I wanted to go to each one of my baby daddy's houses, throw the old sentiments and keepsakes in their mailboxes, soak up the place with gasoline and strike a match, step back and light a cigarette and watch them crawl out with my left eye. Drive by my exes, shoot them in the face and take their bodies down to Texas. I wanted to blast all of the friends who lied and connived, left me high and dry, or just wasn't a friend to begin with, and push them in front of a fucking bus. Fuck it, Regina Georgium. Sorry for the lack of decorum, but I implore you to listen since I couldn't get the attention of the villains I just mentioned. When the fuck is the golden rule going to be fed into the Constitution? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Fuck it. Take these hot slugs to your cerebellum. Hope they leave you paralyzed in fear. Since I had no choice but to write a poem, I only have one chance to make this clear. I'm still here. Molestation, fake love, and tears. Years of fake friends and sperm donors who just didn't care. I made it, baby. Kiss my grits and bacon, baby. Still got my joy. Still rep the Lord. Just had to purge and get back in one accord. I don't need to retaliate. I thank the Lord every day I wake. I use a pen when I meditate and to think. I didn't even want to write a poem today.
Y'all go over that poem right there. See, here's the thing that people think they understand, but they don't. The last person, don't be worried about the bully. Don't worry about the relative who's got the slick mouth. What you need to worry about is pissing off a poet. Because like she said, she take that pen, puts it to paper. She didn't want to do that. She did not even want to do that to the exes, and she didn't want to do that. Look what you made this poet do. Take you to task with her pen. Y'all give it up one more again from your seat, from your chair, make some noise. Poet.
Yes,
so, judges, this is where you do your part. Please give some scores to that poem, and everybody give some love to the poet. We're gonna have you go chill in the green room.
All right.
And we'll bring you back for round two.
Okay.
All right, we got no judges. I need some scores. George, just throw them up. Leah, Angela, Danita, put your scores in the chat thread. Put them up. Got one. I got one judge. I need two, three.
We got 4 judges total. We're gonna drop the low.
Word. We got 2. We need 2 more judges. 2 more scores, please. In person, it's a little bit different. I can impress on you the urgency of being timely. Because it's not a dissertation. You cannot get it wrong. Please don't worry too much, judges. You cannot get it wrong.
Can we give the score for our sacrificial poet?
Nah. Yeah, right. I'd rather get up with this DJ.
That's 1 score.
We got 3. We need 4. Is that all of them?
That's 2.
3. Who's the 4th judge now?
Louisa.
Okay.
AKA Lulu.
Lulu, can you throw your score up? I don't think she have added back on.
Oh, Brandy.
Jumping on in. Brandy jumping on in. She said, you know what? I know how this go.
Hey.
I know this go. That's right. That's my DJ too, Sam. Hey. So, Brandy, keep that coming. You now give us a full 5.
Yeah. Brandy, stay in the game. We're going to take that one.
I mean, most days. Sometimes, some days she just shows up and just is right on time, and then most days she's saving that mug. So I appreciate that. But Lulu, if you can give us your last score, and for those of you that are going to give you caught up, now that we have our full panel of judges, the way slam scores work is we drop the high and we drop the low, and we add the 3 in the middle. So don't do a law of not averages but medians. Look at me, Aaliyah, knowing math stuff. Hey. All right, Lulu, we can get you to chime in. We may have to, I don't know if she left, Chemo.
Well, I don't know either. I just.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, oh, there she is. There.
You see it?
Wait, I don't know.
And while we're waiting for our last judge to throw their score up, our next poet gonna make their way to the screen. Woo! It's gonna be Miss McHatton, Aaliyah McHatton. Had a chance to check her out doing a workshop last week. So it's always warms my heart to see folks who love to spit, love to write, love to encourage other people to do both of those things and still keep scribbling on their own. So looking forward to having her voice added to these three queens. And we also have all women judges. Huh. Trust Black women, y'all. Just out of hand. No questions, no thought. Just y'all don't deserve us. The world does not deserve us, but we're here. All right, thank you, Lulu. We got our last score. Now we are going to applaud the poets that went from your seat. And you're going to keep that going. See, it's already a momentum that you have. So now make it harder and faster and louder for Aaliyah.
Hey, family. Poems. I am my mother, piece 1, Garden of Ghosts. It is a field stretched over hills, wild and green, grass that comes to the knee, the soft soil below welcoming the seeds of blossom speed to take rest, tuck themselves in deep, allow the rain and sun and all this bullshit to nourish you. This is Eden, the beginning to a long end, the first home Lilith left to tremble in her wake, the first woman scorned, feared, written out of history, the gardener turned outcast. This is the freedom song hummed by the wind, left behind by women like me, like her, the first demon to roam. The fields, stretched over hills, wild and green, the soft soil below, welcoming her body to take rest, tuck herself in deep, allow the man who remains with fairy tale and pride to nourish this land. This is Eden, a garden full of ghosts. These two. I've heard a tale of a secret place that women like me couldn't escape to. A place where magic don't hurt nobody, where Jesus ain't got no business, but is always called back. Always the cuckold of the wanderer, a place where the sun don't dip but halfway through horizons. A place where tears don't fall, but from heavens ain't no blood to shed or mourn or worship, where the moon got free reign, room for her to stretch her limbs wide, lie open and proud and prairie field fearlessly, find the flower that resembles your sweet bloom most. Yeah, I've heard tell of lands promised, preached in parable, wrapped in lace and silk, left waiting in the murky memories of women that wander and wish with fistfuls of glass and glue and sand over flame brighter than the morning star, brighter than hands like these can muster with 2 good thrown stones and branch butchered from base. Maybe we ain't supposed to be free. Maybe our teeth supposed to gnash and snarl and whimper and beg and bend at the waist for somebody that will steal the tune out of your cage bird song, hear the grinding of hollow bone and still don't get no fuck about women like me. I mean, maybe we supposed to be stuck. Just that piece.
Yeah, shoulders. Yeah, with them shoulders. I heard of a place.
Did you notice the sip right there? Did you notice the sip? Like I did that shit sip. You know what I mean? I did that shit sip.
Like a lady.
You know. Ladies don't drink, we sip.
You tear the shit up and you put your pinky up. But y'all know, oh my goodness. we are going to be having a special here tonight because I heard of a place that they had told me of. Very Eden-like. And why is it nourished in bullshit? Because we're going to feed it something different. So, judges, what say you for that poem? Hey, DJ. While we're rallying up these scores, we're going to have you chill back in the green room. Thank you for that piece. And thank you out there for paying attention to that piece. So checking you out. So we're looking at your comments about the, checking out the wordplay, paying attention to what this poet is talking about. So she's not doing this for her health. She's doing this to save your soul. That's why we all scribble these things. The ones we share out loud anyway. So judges, what do we say for that last poem?
Miss Angela coming in with an 8.8. Yes.
We got 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I need 4 more judges. Quick. Again, you're not going to fail. You're not going to get a grade. And we're not in an actual venue. No one has to walk you to your car. Don't overthink it. Did it make sense? Did it move you?
Came in with 8.9.
We got 2. We need 2. We need 3, 3, 3. We need 3, 3, 3. Can I get a score from our other 3 judges? So we got 1 judge making screenshots. Thank you, ma'am. Because we need receipts. Excellent. We got 3. We need 2 more. Miss Lulu and Miss Brandy. 2 more scores, please.
So while we're waiting on the last 2 judges, I want to say for the first poet of the slam, 20 pieces and some biscuits. Her score was 26.6. That's what we got for 20 pieces and some biscuits. 26.6 was her score. 2 more judges.
2 more judges. We need Brandy and we need Miss Lulu.
I'll tell you what, if you want to go ahead and bring up Deolinda Abstract, I'll just watch the comment thread for the last 2 scores.
That sounds like a plan to me. So, and as we are doing this slam, we've got 3 poets, 2 rounds, 1 cash prize. And our next poet making their way to the screen is Miss Deolinda Abstract. Put your hands together out there. Make some noise on the screen. Thank you, Lulu.
Yes. Okay. So a continuation of poems. To the white woman who wants to fuck me, but doesn't like my Black Lives Matter poems. Stop. My poems are not made for your inconsistence of revolution or your basic ass fetish fantasy. My melanin has no expiration date nor assigned to worship on white people's time. My titties are not a sculpted genius for your PBS showcase or your All Lives Matter protests. To the white woman who wants to fuck me but doesn't like my Black Lives Matter poems. This be a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year hustle, and I'll be damned if I don't act a fool on the 66th day when you decide to leap into my fucking DMs. I am not a meme button or a dignified jungle fever. I do not bend at the hands of pale flesh and blonde or brunette extensions, nor do I have an urge to feel an oppressor on a closer level. To the white woman who wants to fuck me, but doesn't like my Black Lives Matter poems. Remember that your happy-go-lucky ass is not my type for poetic justice, or that my thick ass needs saving. I am a Black girl with radical ambitions, never letting my crown cease to be invisible. My pussy is not a merry-go-round for fuck girls' experimental curiosities, because this shit causes bitches to mistake me for God, and I ain't got time for that. To the white woman who wants to fuck me, but doesn't like my Black Lives Matter poems. My poetry is a state of mind, and that shit is mine. So understand that this full package be a replica of history in its prime. Black girl and a line. My words be a massacre and an investment with time, not a baseline, not a welfare, not a nice ride. To the white woman who wants to fuck me, but doesn't like my Black Lives Matter poems, remember that your privilege does not work these ways. Thank me for the TED Talk. And signed always, a Black girl who loves Black. And that's that piece.
I know you were in your seat, shaking your head as I'm shaking my head. So you just never know who needs to be read for what, right? You just never know what people are going through. You thought you had an issue with your neighbor who keeps parking in their parking spot and not making space for your Prius. Meanwhile, Deolinda's writing snap poems about people who want to get in her snap. I'm just saying, we are all dealing with stuff. We are all dealing with stuff, and you also had a power of pen to get that shit together.
Man,
it's not a merry-go-round. I mean, you have to say that out loud to people sometimes.
Right. That's crazy.
Hey, it's called self-care. It's called self-care. And sometimes a PSA, when what you say, it make folks believe and not believe in God. I'm just saying, when you know the power, ladies, when you know the power that you're dealing with, use your powers for good. Please, use your powers for good. Please. All right, judges, I want you to also use your powers for good.
Before we move on,
yeah.
Just, I think I only had, the way it worked out, and I'm definitely enjoying hanging out with all the queens right now. I'm enjoying hanging out with the queens backstage. I'm enjoying hanging out with the queens as the judges.
He about to say something unquaintly.
I can't reiterate enough how important it is for you to be responsible. That's all I just wanted to say on behalf of everybody who's at the mercy of your who's at your mercy when you're irresponsible. I just want to say how important it is for you to be responsible. I just want to celebrate everyone who makes that disciplined choice.
I appreciate you for that and for recognizing that it is a choice. So we've got definitely judges, roll them up. We've got one judge. We need the other 4 to come through. So Kima and I often come to say that he is the president of the Dude Academy and I am the dean of Chick School. No, the Chick Academy and Dude School. And so we compare these notes all the time. And yes, women, we have an incredible power. And just like any book you've read where people learn how to use their magic, it's a little unwieldy at first. And then you start using your magic because you're mad. Sometimes you have to. But generally speaking, we got to be responsible because it's not a merry-go-round, but that shit is magic and powerful and brings down nations, lifts up humans, shatters, offsets, earth tilts, all that stuff. I mean, it's cosmic all by itself. That's a lot of power to have, behind your cotton or satin or fresh air, however you get down in the summertime. So use it wisely. All right, we got 3, 4. I think we might have 4 judges. I don't think Brandy came back in the last round. So let's just rock out with the 4 that we have.
I took her out of that first one anyway, so we're going to go with the 4. Yeah.
Fantastic. Math is real. All right, so thank you, judges. So family, now it's going to happen in a 2-round slam. We're just going to go in reverse order. So we're going to keep Deolinda on the screen. What, babe?
Nothing.
We're going to keep Deolinda on the screen. You ready with your second piece?
Yes.
All right, so y'all from your chairs, make some more noise. She can feel it. Put all the energy in the screen. Give it up, Dio.
Okay. This poem is called God When He Forgets. God forgot to tell that boy that he was Black. Forgot to staple it to his shirt and send him home with it on Thursday afternoons. Forgot to tell him that he should have colored between the lines to make his pigment lighter. Forgot to stitch innocence into his pants pockets. He will always have his hands placed and his pockets don't shoot. Should have been stitched into his skin. God should have told his mother to tighten that tie around his neck. He'll get used to not breathing. Should have told him that you don't have to get attention. They will always find you glistening in these dark places, son. I cannot promise you life, but God can promise you death for some reason. You have not been born in this world yet, and I am already missing you. Already saving for your obituaries because tuition don't come around very often for people like us. Your standing ovation is marches with your pictures on their shirts. God forgot to tell you, son, that you are a breath waiting to be seized, ready for target practice, aim, fire. They will all fall the same. They would broadcast the nigger in you. Cut and paste your skin on wanted posters. Have you seen him? He looks like me. Have you seen this boy? He looks just like me. He forgot to tie his shoes tightly to his feet. Forgot to leave his hood down. Forgot to put his hands up faster. Forgot to run as fast as he could. Forgot to wear the right colors that night. Forgot to live. Forgot to breathe. God never told me what death felt like. I am still waiting to see him. And that's that piece.
From your heart space, give it up for that poet. Give it up for that poem. Give it up for our DJ. Thank you for coming in with that horn. Somber but necessary. And judges, take a deep breath and throw your scores in a comment thread, please.
Blood on the leaves and blood at the road. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange from the poplar trees.
All right, judges.
Let's see here. We got the judges. 1, 2, 3. There we go. We got thank you, Danita, Angela, Luis, Lulu, and Leah. We got the 4, 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. We got a 9.7, a 9.9, a 9.8, and another 9.9.
Most excellent. Thank you, poet. Thank you, judges. And we are going to bring our next poet coming back to the stage. Welcome back, Aaliyah, to the screen.
Then the sudden smell of burning.
All right.
So I switched from wine to Espolon.
Oh,
okay. So I got to blink a couple times for these poems.
I'll let you get your blink on. I understand.
Ready. Okay. In the dark, piece 1. Shrinky Dink. I have this bad habit of shrinky dinking the world and saying it's for you. Bake it, make it shrivel, watch it contract and crack as it smokes. Sometimes I boil it down, or I like to steam it fresh, but either way, I like to reduce the world to a hot stone, dense, place it on the small of your back while I whisper a hymn over you. Call this worship. Call this unconditional love. Ask if you notice my selfishness. Ask if you quietly resent me. Tell you that burdens like this are never easy to get rid of. We cling. We linger like the bedrock of childhood religion, full of idols and contradictions like liquor and cigar smoke, full-bodied, thick and toxic, like glitter. We turn men like you into gleaming spectacles adorned by shrunken earths, always approaching Armageddon. In the dark, piece 2. Trepidation. The night has always been daunting. Once I learned to make friends with the moon, find comfort in the lurking shadows, Now I lie in this disjointing darkness, curled tightly in on myself beneath oceans of cotton and wool. Here, sheepishly, I pick through the teeth of the cackling ghouls littered across the walls, searching for pieces of myself or a god or some other ghost. I surrender to the tide, sink into spring and pillow top in his chest, feel his heartbeat ripple across this iceberg body and whisper the prayer I have always prayed on nights where you'll find Father Time, the Sandman, and the Grim Reaper sitting on my grave shooting dice on my tombstone of a headboard with the bones they found in my closet.
Hmm.
Just pray they don't piece them together. Pray no one finds. The night has always been so daunting. That be
So, talking about using our powers for good, as you learn to use your powers, sometimes you zap a body. I'm just saying, sometimes you, in learning how to wield your powers, you may disintegrate a whole human being. Not on purpose, but you just didn't know how powerful that love
She
was.
said a
That
whole
lust
human
was.
being.
Huh?
She said a whole human being.
A whole human being.
hurt people hurt people.
And we don't want to. We don't want to. Oh, wow, 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 wow. And the honest reckoning in that. And how do you apologize for a journey? You don't. You acknowledge the journey happened. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes, women, we are using our powers for good, but sometimes we shall burn our hands. You don't have to. Just know you need to be careful. Don't be scared. Be careful. Excellent. So judges, we're looking for you. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 scores. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We got 1, 1, 1. Scoring and crying. Scoring and crying. I know. It's something about having a whole nother person that you do or don't know. They have pulled words out of the sky, stitched them together, said them in front of folks. It is out all day, that Roberta Flack song. Did you just go in my journal and tell my whole life in a poem? Are you killing me softly with your stanzas? That's what's going down right now. So not every, but most of the women in this piece, you can relate to these stories. And not just because we identify with ovaries and such, but we have this heart space. And then you got this poet who captures that little heart space that you haven't told nobody about. Look at you, not by yourself. So we've got one judge, judge number 3, 4, and 2. If we can have you chime in, please. We need Angela, Miss Lulu, and Danita. Leah said, y'all didn't call my name again. I was the last one on board last go round. You are not gonna call me out. I see you, Leah. I see you.
Hey, here we go. We got
Not gonna be me. All right, we have a lot. Thank you, Leah. Thank you.
9.7, a 9.4, a 9.8, 9.2 from the judges. So we applaud the poet. We applaud the poet. We applaud the poet.
We applaud the poet. All right. If you are having a great time out there, I want you to remember that these poets are bringing you their soul. They're sharing you some of their favorite pieces. And this is not an easy thing to do, especially when you don't necessarily have the actual response from the audience. So just know, even if you're sitting there and you're doing 3 other things, we can feel you in this space. So even if you just put a heart emoji in the comment thread, it reminds us that we are doing this for other folks. So we are going to bring our last poet to the stage for the last poem of the slam. I know, get you in and get you out with a bunch of hotness. So we are going to bring 20 Piece and Some Biscuits back to the screen, y'all. Give it up for 20 Piece and Some Biscuits.
20 Piece and Some Biscuits. Hold on.
You got darn right.
Hey.
We getting fed up in here. It's 20-piece biscuits, coleslaw, red beans, and rice, wedges, fruit punch.
Fruit cups. Yeah.
It's a whole family back. Okay. I don't know what it is, That should have been done with all of my stressing out. Because I've been schooled on several different topics, but I still haven't learned my lesson. Now I'm wondering what's next and how I'm going to stretch it all in. Do I scribble in my notebook or confide in some friends? Do I take it all in stride or do I whisper to my pen? Maybe I just need to snap like Tanya Harris did, or maybe I need the same momentum from where Mo Garrett gets. Whatever it is that's messing with me needs a sweet release. And hopefully this week, because I'm weak, but I want to feel new like Lazarus after his slumber. And switching phones don't work because God will still have my number. So do me this favor tonight. Just leave me alone and let me cry. Me standing here sobbing is not the issue. If you want to be a true friend, don't just pass me no tissue, because we all know that even Kleenex lets you down after the first blow. So maybe I just need to let go of all these storms inside of me and make room for my light to shine. See, because I'm trying to be a Proverbs 31 woman and live well. Every time I look in the mirror, I only see Jezebel. So maybe I just need to cry. Cry till all of my sins are forgiven. Just cry till I have no more moisture left that I can bathe 10 Jesuses of Nazareth and cry myself stiff like Nipsey Russell from The Wiz, because I don't have a heart either, y'all. Just lights and clockwork. Let my tears jerk till they outstream denial. And maybe I'm in denial, but these teardrops are not for my mentally abusive baby daddy or the failing economy. But listen to me. The feeling from this paper the epitome of what's real. I just want to suck the poison out. I want to weep until the soil under my feet begins to grow trees and surround me in a healing garden and pardon this tone. But I'm attached to this microphone. I like there to be so much healing in my teardrops that the doctors can cop it and concoct a concoction to cure all cancer and sickness. Let my sobs be viscous to cover the pains of my past and present, and like a pleasant spa, I just want to be wrapped in my tears, y'all, and come out shiny and new. Like a 2020 penny, fresh off the presses. Let my tears flow easy like Sunday morning dresses. I want to weep until there's no more emotion left but love and joy. So the next time I'm sad, I'll only be as that of a toy with a painted smile. No room for sad faces, just a smile. So do me this favor. Waver the questions and the half-hearted whys, and leave me alone with the tears in my eyes. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh my goodness. You said you're gonna have these tears and come out shiny and new.
Why I'm easy.
And hit you with a hymn, y'all. And then the sister hit you with a hymn. So we were just talking with a woman just this week, and we're calling these tears, it's a cleansing. And we do hold on to those tears,
Yes.
like we're saving them for something. Like if you spill them, you won't be able to spill anymore. If you spill them, you may get them on something. Get those tears on everything. It's a cleansing. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding us about that. And sometimes we do want to console you. And then we console you to make you not cry. That's not helping. So we should just jump in there with you. Snotty nose, runny face. What do you say? Don't let us both down.
Yes, yes.
Most excellent. So judges, hopefully you are dabbing your eyes, wiping the tears, that cleansing from your face. And let's throw up these scores. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 scores. Oh, yeah, this is your chance. This is your chance to be like a twofer. Back to back first. Leah and Angela and Danita and Miss Lulu. Last go around. You can give us those last set of scores. Awesome sauce. Thank you. We got 2. We need 2 more.
Oh, got one. Oh, there's my pen.
There we go. And we just need Danita. Oh, almost. Excellent. We have all of our scores in.
Do we?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. 9.9. 9.5, 9.0, and a 9.8.
Most
Give
excellent.
me applaud the poet. Applaud the poet, applaud the poet, applaud the poet.
So what I'm going to ask all of you to do, so while Kima finishes with the slam math, we are going to ask all of you to just for a moment, we're going to do two things. We're going to just kind of close your eyes just for a hot second. And this is gratitude to the judges. If we don't learn anything, and we've learned a lot in this time that we are in together, this strange time that we're in, gratitude is currency. Mm-hmm. So, and not just the words. I mean, we may have been in that habit of saying that you are grateful for things, but nothing shows you what to be grateful for except when you fear that everything is going to be gone. So gratitude in this space of genuinely for all of the judges who made the time, especially judges who came in at the last minute. To, as Leah said, you can't ruin anything and you're helping us out. And I think you probably had some fun too. So for that small thing, we're grateful. And for this enormous thing that we all took the time, even if we stumble onto the screen at this time, just to kind of sit still and to be grateful for the opportunity to be fed with these artist words, to be inspired by this queendom, and just to be reminded that there's a whole lot of wonderful happening out there on the screen, outside of our Rona doors, and just took an hour and some change to be tapped into something that inspired us. I know I am absolutely lifted from having this time, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. So there's plenty of other things that we have to be grateful for, and it doesn't need to be, oh, I'm great. You know how I used to be forced to say nice things when you were a kid? For real, though, I'm grateful. So closing our eyes in gratitude that this time happened, that you were able to be in front of the screen, that these poets were ready, the judges came through. Grateful, grateful. One day at a time, y'all. 1 hour, 1 moment at a time, and I'm grateful for this. All right, so Mr. DJ, do we have a piece, a song? Do you have the scores?
Yes.
For all of the above? Okay.
Yes, for all of the above, man. This is probably my least favorite part of the whole poetry slam experience, you know. Because I find myself wanting to do the whole corny thing, like there are no losers, right? And that isn't corny, because that's true. And Aaliyah's giving me the duck lips right now. Like, come on, man, give me the scores. All right, with the kumbaya shit, man. All right, with the kumbaya shit. So yeah, again, thank you, judges. Thank you, judges. Thank you, everyone, for locking in. Find us in the inbox, right? Like we're still trying to figure out this rhythm to make it, you know, work for all involved, for the judges, for the poets, for, you know, anyone coming to give us time and attention. So if there's anything that you find that we could do to work out some of the kinks, you know, just hit us in the inbox. You could do it publicly. It's probably not the most productive space, but I mean, you know, if you want to rock that way, we'll take it publicly too. But you know, with that said, with the score of 56.1. I'm in third place. We have Mr. Leah, score 56. Wait. Oh yeah, with a score of 56.8, 20 pieces and a biscuit, and with a score of 58.2. It's Deolinda Abstract.
Ow!
Yeah, $50 heavier this evening. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Deolinda. Thank you, Aaliyah. Thank you, 20 pieces and a biscuit. We'll bring everybody back on the screen. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Y'all be snapped.
Yeah.
Destiny got books. Don't sleep. Hit up Dealing the Abstract. You can catch half those poems in her latest project. Go and put the book on the camera.
No.
I don't know if anybody can plug.
Okay, shameless plug.
Ain't nobody better plug.
You can donate
all
to
the
Still Water
plugs. Check out
Collective at
Aaliyah.
Still Water
I'm still,
Collective on PayPal, SWC MKE on Cash App.
yes. I'm still on Aaliyah ass about that book though. I'm not playing with you. Like
I gotta ask y'all. Wait a minute. I didn't even know y'all before now. I gotta find y'all and the DJ. Hey,
Shout out to Kima. Woo!
shout out to Kima. Shout out to Dasha.
I should host the hell out of that.
No, we
Tonight.
okay, y'all. I love you, Mama Duck. I don't have no kids right now, y'all. So I gotta get back to it.
You
I love y'all. Be safe.
thank you.
This was fun. Thank
Okay.
you guys.
Nugget.
Bye, y'all.
Peace and hair grease.
Thank you, poets. Thank everybody. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Lulu. I keep saying Lulu, man. We went to high school together. Louisa. Thank you, Angela, aka sister-in-law, Miss Anita, Miss Danita. Yeah, from a little college cocoon city. Thank all of you. Thank Miss Leah. Thank the poets. Thank the lovely host this evening. Violinda Abstract.
I'm just scrolling through all the lovely comments. All right, good people. So we are back here. So on the third Wednesday is Pentastic. And the fourth Wednesday, we will have another slam. We were looking to do it twice a month. Kima, we're still going to roll that. How do you guys feel? Oh, thank you, Miss Lou. Kima?
My ambition was to do it every day. So twice a month, yes.
Twice a month. So second and fourth Wednesdays will be right here at 7:30. And so far, this format we feel is working, having 3 poets. It gets us, again, we get a full set. The poets get to do 2 full rounds. And we know that the screen time, the 3-hour slam, that's not necessarily the way we're trying to go. So we'll be back here in 2 weeks. If you are interested in slamming, I see you, Ajamu. If you're interested in being part of that poetry slam, just hit us up on our inbox. We know to watch out for you. But we'll start making calls for poets and judges in the next week and some change. But want to thank everybody for making the time for this event. So hopefully you'll scribble a little bit. And thank you very much, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Danita. Judge 1, Judge 2, Judge 3, the retreat. Look at you, part of a gang, Leah, and Miss Louisa. So subscribe to the Retreat MKE on YouTube so you don't miss anything. In addition to the slams, we have a series of conversations and shows and art and all kinds of good stuff. So we're trying to make sure we stay connected, even though we are not together, and make sure that we have space for art and conversation. So the Retreat MKE on YouTube. And of course, you can like our page so that you don't have to worry about missing anything. We don't want anybody worrying about nothing. There's plenty of stuff for us to be worried about. Wondering when you'll get a chance to see our next program. We don't want that to be one of them. So thank you for being here tonight, and everyone be good. You're already good. So to see.